The Clinton family just can't help themselves. Hillary is on the verge of becoming president, and they're still flaunting their corruption in our faces. So Politico reports here, hundreds of corporate executives, foreign dignitaries, and celebrities will pile into a Manhattan ballroom to hobnob with Bill and Chelsea Clinton next month at their charity's keynote annual event, just days before Hillary Clinton defends herself against pay-to-play accusations from Donald Trump in their first debate. The 12th and final annual meeting of the Clinton Global Initiative will showcase its philanthropic work and also the Democratic nominee's greatest potential vulnerability, her ties to a sprawling global charity that has accepted donations from Middle Eastern governments, foreign businessmen with checkered histories, and major corporations with business before the government. Some Democratic operatives say they're dismayed by the timing of the three-day conference. Think about that one. You're dismayed by the timing of the conference. You're a Democratic operative, as they say. In other words, establishment, corporatist, Democratic insider. And you're not saying, I'm dismayed because, whoa, you shouldn't be this cozy with corporations. You shouldn't be this cozy with foreign governments. You shouldn't be in bed with them like this because maybe you'll do them favors. You're not saying the incentive structure here is wrong and there's a problem. You're saying, the timing of this is off. There's such an admission embedded in even just that banal comment, because it shows you these Democratic insiders, the corporatist Democrats, they're like, well, of course we buy into the framework of the system where politicians take money from big business and then they do their bidding. Duh, you got to listen to the wealthy donors. So they say that as, what do the Democrats, the establishment Democrats, always do every time an election rolls around? They'll pretend, we are so against money in politics, and we are so in favor of the people, and those other guys are so fucking crazy, and they always do the corporation's bidding. Us, never. But here, they just said it. The timing of the conference is the problem. Not that the conference exists, not the incentive problem it sets up, not the fact that it is pay to play and it is blatant, brazen corruption and bribery. No, the timing. The timing is so bad because it makes us look like what the fuck we actually are. They continue here. A handful of the 33 listed sponsors of last year's conference confirmed to Politico that they are signing on again as sponsors, including Procter & Gamble, Microsoft, the Ford Foundation, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Current and former sponsors include corporations in heavily regulated industries that stand to benefit from favorable government relations, from banking to pharmaceuticals to energy. 29 of the 30 Dow Jones Industrial Average Index companies have been linked to the Clintons' sprawling charities. Wow. So, don't get me wrong, guys. Is it the case that the Clinton Foundation does some good? Sure. Is it the case that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation does some good? Absolutely. Nobody's denying that. But you are perhaps denying the other aspect of this, which is what I already laid out, which is when you have incredibly rich, incredibly powerful people in bed together and money's constantly changing hands, they're not all doing it purely out of the kindness of their hearts. They're doing it because it is pay to play. I give you money, you do favors for me since you're in control and you're in government and you really have the reins of power. And this isn't just speculation. The International Business Times reported over a year ago now that Bill Clinton would go around to many foreign governments, including Middle Eastern governments, and he would give speeches. And he would give the speeches and he'd get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Clinton Foundation. And then lo and behold, at the same time that happened, it was Secretary of State Hillary Clinton who was approving weapons deals to go to these different governments. Now, again, the way they get around this is they can say something like, you have no proof. You have no evidence. So, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no problem here. Let's all move along. But guys, a quid pro quo actually happening and being caught on tape? The chances of that are so low. And the standard that the judicial branch has set to meet the bar of corruption and bribery is so through the roof that nothing is bribery and corruption. For fuck's sake, Governor Bob McDonnell where there almost was a quid pro quo, and it was obvious, where he's like, okay, so you're going to let me use your vacation home, you're going to help pay for my daughter's wedding, you're going to give my fucking wife a Rolex, you're going to give me cars and all this shit, and I'll do favors for you, and I'll promote your fucking, supplement business. Even in that scenario, the Supreme Court was like, I don't see it. I'm not sure if there's corruption there. Sure, he took $1 billion favors in cash in response for promoting the supplement company, this jackoff. But there's not a videotape of them saying, I will give you money and you will do favors for me. So no harm, no foul. We're done here. Let's all move the fuck along and shut the fuck up. Well, it's the same thing here. You can draw the lines and it's perfectly clear what's happening. But in a court of law, they set the bar so high that it's like, well, come on, there is no proof, there is no evidence. Maybe it's a coincidence that they took hundreds of thousands of dollars and then Hillary Clinton gave them weapons deals. Maybe it's a fucking coincidence. Who knows? We know. We're not stupid. This is the same fucking court that said money in politics and, unlimited political contributions, donations. That's not only is that not corruption, that's not even the appearance of corruption. There's almost no words for how stupid that is. Like, you're up your own ass rationalizing and intellectualizing the obvious in the other direction. You're like, I don't know. Again, where's the videotape of them saying, are you ready to do corruption and bribery? So, here you have it. They're saying, man, the timing of this is bad. No, it's not the timing. It's that it exists in the first place. And then Hillary Clinton, you know what she said? Oh my God, this is so egregious. They go, well, okay, you guys got us. If I get elected, we will no longer accept donations from foreign governments. Okay, wait, what? If you get elected, you're already running. Like, the money you take now is going to have the same effect as the money you would take when you're in office. That it's pay to play. It is. It's setting up a poor incentive where you're going to take the phone call of whoever wants the favor if they contribute it to you. So the problem that would exist when you're in office exists right now. And then also notice, they're just talking about, when foreign governments is what will stop if I'm elected. So, okay, so you're admitting, well, look, maybe there's an incentive problem with that when I'm in office, not right now. You're admitting that part. And you're not admitting that, well, if it's U.S. corporations or if it's wealthy donors in the U.S., that there would also be an incentive problem. No, if there's an incentive problem when foreign governments give it, so there's also an incentive problem when, U.S. corporations and wealthy donors here give it. But no, they don't even acknowledge that. They don't even discuss that. They don't even bother to provide a nuanced counterpoint. It's just like, well, whatever, we can get away with it. So we're just obviously still going to take money from U.S. corporations and U.S. donors. And people wonder why. Like, they're trying to do everything they can to still blow this election. Donald Trump is a buffoon who's imploding in front of our eyes. And now the polls are clear. Hillary Clinton is way up. But they're emboldened by this. They're so far up in the polls, and Trump is such a bad candidate that they're just like, yeah, whatever. We're the ultimate insiders. Who gives a shit? Well, I still give a shit. And many good progressives and liberals still give a shit. And honestly, to be fair, many conservatives still give a shit. Now, they sprinkle in some stupid scandals that aren't real. But they're right on this part of it, which is the pay to play, which is how corrupt she is, how deep of an insider she is. And unfortunately, it appears like they're not going to get that reality check. That reality check of like, no, you don't get it. You are part of the problem, if not one of the biggest problems with, your insider ties and your obvious misallocation of resources and favors for the wealthy and corporations. And snubbing of the people in the process. You're part of that. You're one of the leaders of that as you pretend to be the opposite. And again, the Democratic donors are not concerned about the actual issue here, the incentive problem. What are they concerned about? The timing of it is bad because it's right before the debates and it exposes us for being as corrupt as we indeed are.